Hello, everyone. Happy 4th of July. I imagine it's going to be a pretty quiet night, evening, whatever you want to call it. But that is okay. We will just get some work done then. But if you are here and you're lurking or anything like that, I appreciate you being here. And we'll get started in just a moment. We do have some exciting news today, which is I'm pretty dang sure I'm going to have a video out tomorrow, finally. Let's go live. Hello. Hail and well met. All right. Let's draw. We're just going to keep plugging away at what we were doing last time, which in this case is just working on some of these. I think really the only thing here that needs to be, well, there's this layer and maybe there's one more layer in here. This guy, maybe. But yeah, we'll fix those two and then just keep moving on. Yeah, we're just going through and we are fixing a lot of the weird texture in here that's too repetitious, in my humble opinion. I don't know if this is the right, I think it's probably this color. Yeah. May give it a little more. And then it's gonna be as simple as fixing this overlay, I think. This one might be a multiply layer. It is. Multiply. Hide that. As I expected, not quite dark enough, but that's okay. And just darken that up a bit. I think that looks a little weird. Why ever the that's like not being covered by this layer. Just erase that. Yeah, I was very tempted to stream even earlier than this, but I wanted to get my video done, and it is now officially done. That was my reference. There we go. That's that. File. Export. PNG. Abyssal domain. This is like, was for sure one of my favorite cards. I don't know if it still is. I'm still pretty dang happy with it. But does need a tiny bit of updating. Almost, I don't know what color this is. I want to make sure to get it right. I'm guessing it's this color. It could be black, but I think it's this one. Yeah, I imagine it's going to be a slow day today. There's also a weird, like, line up there, and I don't know what that's from. Ooh, that is, like, everything on one layer. We're just gonna give it a little bit of a smudge. Weird, why is it not? Oh, there's a layer above it, that's why. How do we fix this line, though? Where's that? It's a harsh line. Is it on? It's on this layer. I'll smudge that upward. All good. I think well, the only other thing I want to change is this right here. I'm trying to figure out what color that is. Probably this one. Yeah, I feel like it might be a short stream today, but I also think I probably can just get everything I can probably just get all this done today, so I may as well do that as well. So it doesn't have to be a short stream because I'm going to be productive, so at least that's the goal. Cool. I'm happy enough with that. Next for PNG. Yes, I know it already exists. Luckily, because I have the Photoshop files, now this is like destructive editing, right? We will never ruin anything that we're working on. Chaos Keep is next. This one might be okay. It also might be difficult to actually fix if I want to. I think maybe I'm just gonna do this layer and everything else underneath kind of just has to stay as is. Maybe I could do a bit of glow on the crystals. We'll see. This is a multiply layer. I'm pretty sure it's still this color here. Do 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 do. And then yeah, let's just do a magenta add layer. And just make these crystals glow just a smidge. That'll do. Good enough for me. It's not perfect, but I don't think it's ever going to be, so unless I just redo it completely. And I'm perfectly happy with it, so well, you know, happy enough. Null Sanctum. I'm having trouble seeing anything wrong with this one, so we're just gonna leave it. Next. Shadow's Den, probably gonna be too dark to even have any issues. Just up there, I guess, in the sky. Yeah, these 2 layers. So I think this is just black. Okay, and then the, what is it? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. I didn't turn on social stream. Hopefully no one was... Oh, crap. Hello, sorry. Of course, the one time I'm not paying attention on YouTube, or my thing forgot to turn on. Hello? Sorry, give me a second here. It's so funny when no one normally pops in on YouTube. Hello, Pull the King. I'm so sorry. That is why I was not replying. I did not have my chat up. Hopefully you're still here, or didn't find it offensive. Anyway, or I did not offend you. This one. Also, hello too. Womp womp. What a dingus I am. We are irreparably offended. I guess so. I done goofed. Oh well. When was that? Well, I feel bad now. Oh well. Sup, Toot? How you doing? We lost a friend. What are your 4th of July plans, Beats? You're looking at them. This is me. I ain't doing beep. You know what I mean? No burgers or wieners. No, literally nothing. I ain't got no plans. I will be doing a like a family get together on the 12th. Fireworks? Nope. I mean, my neighbors probably will be, so I could just like look out my backyard or look out my front yard and just see them shooting stuff off. But yeah, it's pretty lame. I'm done goofed. Sorry, I was distracted. I just want to make sure this YouTube thing works. Yes, okay. There we go. I'm with you, brother. I'm also getting some work done today. Test. Okay, that was me. Got some photo editing to do. Yeah, nice. Yeah, what? The nice thing is I did get my video done, so you probably will see a new Beats video tomorrow. So honestly, no regrets there. About dang time, I know. Don't remind me. Don't remind me about how much dang time it is, you know? Takes frickin' forever to get anything done. There we go. That's the shadows done. Silly me. That's like the first time I forgot to open social stream in forever. Anyway. Alright, I'm done dwelling on it. Anyway. What are we doing? I'm just glad to see some back end, like the social stream thing. It's pretty nice. It's a cool app. So this lets you combine the chats. That's how, you know, we see, you know, all that stuff on there. It also has like the highlight feature, so if I, you know, I gotta learn today, yeah, so that's there. So that's pretty cool. There's also a lot of other functionality to it, but yeah. So yeah, I guess that's something, right? You got to learn something, even if I'm done goofing. What color is this? But yeah, yeah, I'm just working on this today, and then I don't know, I'm probably just gonna relax the rest of the day. I finally got my video done, so I feel like I just need to not do anything at this point. I'm already like tired. I don't know if you noticed. I feel like I sound tired. I'm sleepy. I'm forgetting my overlays. I'm forgetting all sorts of things. This looks weird. So yeah, you said, I mean, do you have? You said you're gonna do something, right? You have actual plans, unlike me. I know you're doing photo editing now, but I don't know. Maybe I'll. My only actual plans are feeding my wife when she gets home. Well, there you go. That works. You have off today then? I know you said you're editing photos, but you actually work today? Yeah, thank God I'm off. Yeah. I kind of forgot that people get off for the 4th of July because I was just like, yeah, I guess I'm working, so. And I just forgot that that's a thing that people get time off, you know? So I worked a full day. More than a full day now that I'm streaming. At least in theory once I do like a short stream, but which I mean I might, but oh wait. Yeah. I was gonna say could have sworn there was some darkness here. Embrace the darkness. There we go. I was tempted to show my video on stream, but I'm wondering if what's more valuable, having people congratulations on your independence from this shit country. What's up, Bean? Da-da-da. Aren't they all, though, you know? Aren't they all that way? Alright, well, we're actually... God dang, Bean never fails to show up. All countries are shit? Yeah. When has anyone ever been like, this is a great country? I don't know, I'm just being silly, but... I mean, y'all say it all the time. I mean, that's what you hear, but most people... I don't know. But we won't get into it. We're verging on too close to politics. All I'll say is that I think it's fine. I think everything's fine, you know? I think everyone's fine. We'll all be okay. You know? I feel like this rock that is not colored in could be colored in. That's my true feelings on the subject. What layer did I even color it? But yeah. How you doing today, Bean? I hope you're swell. I mean, tell I was really running out of time on this one. I didn't even color everything in. I was like, whatever. I'm okay currently shoving chalkies down my gullet. You? I'm really tired because I finished my video today. And my brain is done for at this point. But I don't know, I wanted to stream, so I figured I'd stream early because, you know, with it being the 4th and all, if I didn't stream early, none of our American friends would be able to make it, probably, more than likely. So look at you guys being cute. I think I love Toots. I think I love Toots too. How can you not, you know? I think I love Bean. I think I love Bean too, you know? How can you not? Well, Natalby, I'm grateful you decided to stream today. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I think I was going to no matter what, you know? It's kind of a commitment that I've made to myself, that I do it as much as I can on my scheduled stream, you know, stream times. So yeah. I think I love beats. I mean, who wouldn't, you know? Just kidding. To say the same thing. Silly. Anyway, motivated me to get off my butt and, on the couch and get back on my butt in my computer chair. There you go. I'm glad I'm helping, but also don't feel too obligated. It is a holiday, so do whatever feels right to you. So we've got, I literally just finished all the structures within, or all the ruins within, what is it now? Half an hour here. So that's cool. So all those are updated. It feels so right being here with you and Bean. I know, right? Let's go on a Loca Trende Amor. I don't know. Redeems hypothetical standing desk for Toots. There you go. A standing toot. Crazy love train. Ah, gotcha. I guess that makes perfect sense. I didn't know what Tren was, but you know, it makes sense. I knew what Amor was. I need to get one of those standing desks adapters. I only have a regular old desk. The forbidden emote is approved. It is. I'm so excited about it. Yeah, honestly, the standing desk things aren't that expensive. I mean, they're like 200 bucks, which, you know, depending on your economic situation, they're expensive. Unleash the Bald. But yeah, you know. If you're making money, they're not expensive, you know. If you're me, they're expensive, but I bought them when I had a job, so, you know. Squints, my god. I assume that's like the voice you would have used, like, my god. Did we do all the lands? I don't think we did. No, we didn't touch it. We didn't even touch them. What am I even doing? I'll make sure I got all these. Make sure I exported them correctly. I didn't do Chaos Gate. Oh, Chaos Gate. How did I miss Chaos Gate? Dear Neptune? What? Hello? That just sounds like I'm devoted to you. You are God. Oh my. Wait, my God. Oh. I see what you're saying. Oh, my God. Which, to be fair, y'all are silly. Y'all are a bunch of silly little geese, you know? Okay. From the SpongeBob movie when King Neptune took off his crown and yelled bald. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm not a SpongeBobber. I didn't have cable when I was a child. I know some of the references, but I don't know enough of them. I feel like I don't know. I feel unsure about this right here. I was a PBS kid, you know? I don't mean to argue, but I'm talking about the movie in theaters. No excuses. I guess that's fair. Except I hadn't seen any SpongeBob before that, so, you know. Like, here we are. Ooh. Did we lose keyboard shortcuts again? We did. Hold on. This is getting real old. Yeah, I just have to click on the corner and it fixes it. Interesting. Yeah, some of these I definitely could do a better job on now if I tried, but tell me some more, silly goose. I like this art. Yeah, I like the colors and like how it looks. I feel like I could have made it a little more detailed, but I think I like the colors and honestly the portal's cool and these little guys getting sucked up and all that is kind of fun. And the silhouette's cool. I just feel like the background maybe I could do a little bit more with, but I don't feel like going too crazy with it, you know? We're just doing some updates. I don't want to go too ham on anything. Remind me which software you use. I use Photoshop. I was just introduced to Photoshop as a wee lad. I've been stuck ever since. You know? I just use too many Adobe programs. I have been getting slightly more frustrated with it, just in general, because I don't know, there's just like a lot of dumb stuff, but I don't know, it's fine. One of the biggest of which is like, you know, they're getting into the AI stuff now, and your Creative Cloud subscription only covers so many generations. So it's like, I'm spending however much money, you know, hundreds of dollars a year, and and apparently that doesn't cover infinite generations, which is fair because like if you're a company, maybe you could be generating like a bajillion things all the time, but at the same time it's like I have to pay more for features that you're adding. Seems kind of wild. Adobe is, I'm assuming that's like a meh or a bleh or a, yeah, it's a bleh. Yeah, I don't know. They used to be cool. Until they took an arrow to the knee, you know? Okay, all the curses need to be done. Only like 2 of the gods need to be fixed, I think. Let me guess, someone stole your sweet roll. What do you mean? I'm lost. What do you mean? This one looks fine. On-screen celebration. The hodl, the axolotl, the Hada Axel. Thank you for the 24 bits, Bean. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I literally forgot that I made that joke. Sorry. Come on, just drop a Skyrim guard name. Yeah. Sorry, my brain forgot what I said the second after I said it. You know how that is? You ever have that happen to you? Has this happened to you? Do you guys want to see my new video, or do you want to be surprised tomorrow? Either it's like you get to be surprised tomorrow, or you get to be like, I get to like proof watch it. I'm cool with either, you know? I heart Hodl Axolotl. Maybe I should have called it Hodl. You know? I don't know what I want, honestly. I'm done making decisions. Hodl sounds amazing. Yeah, I probably should have called it Hodl, but I'm not going to change it now because would take like 8 days to approve. 24 to 38 business days to work. I don't think you'd be asking us again if you yourself didn't want to show us. Well, I mean, part of it was like, I was thinking about it, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna show this unless, you know, like, obviously I'm not gonna show it unless people get on, and I wasn't really sure if people would get on with it being 4th of July. I figured Bean might, because, you know, he's not American. And because I did it early. If I did it later, you know, I was thinking like the only person who might show up is Thunder because, you know, he's Canadian. So. Because I don't give an F about you lot. That was hostile even for me. That's true. Bean's going crazy. Bean's losing it. He's becoming ferocious. A rabid Bean. Should be an ad layer. There we go. But yeah, the answer is I don't know. I'm kind of done making decisions, but I figured I'd ask because I don't know if I asked both of you. You know, we could have a an intermission and watch the new video. But I'm kind of, like I said, I don't know. I don't care anymore. I'm at that point where decisions are like, you just can't make decisions anymore because you've made too many today. You know that feeling? There we go. The Blighted Marsh. The Mighted Blarsh. Show it? Okay, we'll do it. All right. The caveat is here's the only requirement is that you have to still watch it when it comes out. Even if that is put it on in the background and walk away. That's the deal. Show us your ... video. All right, hold on. Desktop audio. Where did I even put it? That's not the right file. This is.
Have you ever been playing a game?
It's so loud. It probably wasn't loud for you guys, but it was loud
Maybe
for me.
with a...
Okay, hold on. Hold. Let's do like this screen, maybe. There we go. All right. Hush. You tell me if it sounds good.
Have you ever been playing a game, maybe with a friend or on your own?
Is it loud enough or does it need to be louder? Probably a little louder.
Have you ever been playing a game, maybe with a friend or on your own, excited to dive into the combat or interesting mechanics, when you run into a character whose dialogue just seems to last forever? And even if the story seems interesting, you can't help but mash the skip button. Or maybe you played a game where the story is sprinkled subtly throughout, tucked away in books and item descriptions, painstakingly written by the developers. And despite all that depth, you couldn't be bothered to read any of it. As a game designer, I've been thinking a lot about story in my own games. Granted, I design board games, so generally my story ends up being a 2-sentence blurb at the top of the rulebook or a handful of lines on a card. But it makes you ask, who's actually reading this? Who's it actually for? I'm not so dumb to think that nobody reads it or it's never enjoyable, but it does bring up the question, do games need story? If I left it all out, if I ignored the flavor text on a card, would anyone even care? Now, I bet you're thinking the answer to that question is it depends. It depends if the story is good. It depends on what kind of game it's in. Maybe it even depends on your mood that day. And honestly, you'd be right. As skippable as some stories are, some capture our hearts. They evoke emotion, they make us laugh, smile, and even cry. The characters, the bits of lore, the trials and adventures, we carry those with us. They're a gift, a treasure we keep forever. These stories can matter to us so much. So why is it sometimes they just get in the way? Today I want to dive into this topic and try to understand, do games really need a story? Do they need characters and lore? Do they even need a theme? So join me today as we explore the question, do games need story? First and foremost, let's talk about what story is. I know it's a bit cliche to start by reading off the definition of a story, but as I began my research on this topic, I quickly realized it's kind of hard to actually define. Most definitions will tell you something like an account of imaginary or real people told for entertainment, or simply an account of incidents or events. But if you look at this from a writer's perspective, you'll get a better idea of what a story is made of. Most important of which is that a story needs a beginning, a middle, and an end. And while that might not be a textbook definition, it's a structure that dates back to Aristotle in 300 BC and is still used today. So I would say it's as important as any definition. Here's the thing, that definition doesn't quite sit right with me when it comes to games. Because unlike a movie or a book that unfolds linearly, even if the story jumps around, a game can be told whichever way it wants. A game's entire story can be told through item descriptions or even the environment itself. And while it might not be told to you, it's still there. Let's take Minecraft, for example. On the surface, there is no story. It's completely non-linear, and you can go wherever you want. There's no dialogue, no lore-filled text. We're barely even really given a theme. I mean, what is it, like fantasy, post-apocalyptic, steampunk? Yeah, I don't know. But I think it would be unfair to say that Minecraft doesn't have a story. It's just told visually, not with words. The details are never stated outright. They're shown to us and left to our interpretation. You never learn who the zombies once were, you never know who built the strongholds, you never know who left a portal half buried in the sand. Minecraft's story isn't spoken, it's left behind for you to uncover. But does that story have a beginning, a middle, and an end? Arguably no. Instead, it's made up of what are called narrative fragments. These are building blocks that comprise a story. Bits of lore or visuals that aren't a story on their own that suggest a greater narrative. His influence is dark, but I do not blame you for your curiosity, but cleanse yourself of it immediately. It will ruin you and all you care about. That's just one tidbit from a singular item from Risk Rain 2. Alone, it hardly means much, but we do understand that there's something out there seeking to corrupt us, something evil. There's more to the story. But without reading through hundreds of item descriptions, you'll never get the full picture. But if players only encounter small fragments of the story, or maybe miss it entirely, why include it at all? The simplest reason is that there are some players who care, and some that don't. However, something like text in item descriptions is a great way to get around the skippable dialogue problem we were talking about earlier, because you can tell the story you want to tell without it getting in the way of the gameplay. Of course, there are more complex answers as well. Story can help shape the game's creation and even set the right tone and atmosphere. Lords of the Fallen's checkpoints could have just been called checkpoints, but instead they're called vestiges, a sacred site where a previous lampbearer had fallen. Of course, this is likely retrofitted lore to a pre-existing mechanic of an established genre convention, but it can also work the other way around. For instance, in my game, Armies Against Entropy, during the initial conceptualization, heroes were named after heroes in fiction and generic fantasy archetypes. These characters were then given mechanics that fit the narrative, an elf being able to attack twice, and a necromancer gaining power when things died. These two concepts are called top-down and bottom-up game design. Top-down starts with a theme and applies the mechanics, whereas bottom-up starts with the mechanics and then applies the theme after. And while a theme might not be a story on its own, it helps to build up narrative fragments, creating a story in our mind. And these choices, whether intentional or not, define the game's story as a whole. Of course, I'd be remiss to not talk about the quality of a story mattering in a game. yeah, if it sucks, we're going to skip it. A story has to be engaging for it to be something we want to devote time to. So what are some of those factors? First and foremost is emotional connection. If you can't connect with the characters and the story, then you're not going to care about it. It could be bad writing or bad acting or just bad characterization, but if a game fails to make you feel something, then it's failed as a story. Along the same lines is motivation. A good game will give you a reason, a purpose for your character to do what they're doing. In film, there's actually a term for this. It's called a MacGuffin. It's an object or goal that drives the plot forward, even if it's not that important on its own. Usually it's something that the characters care deeply about, but the audience doesn't really have to. I always use the example of the plans for the Death Star in Star Wars. We might not really care about what they are, but the characters certainly do. But in games, a truly great story goes one step further. It makes us care about the MacGuffin. Because unlike in film where we just watch the character, in a game we're both the audience and the character. Which brings us to motivation. If a player doesn't care about the character, they'll struggle to put themselves in their shoes. But if they do care, they'll stay invested, sometimes even pushing through lackluster gameplay to see what happens next. That's the power of story. It can carry the experience even when everything else is falling short. Games like The Witcher or Baldur's Gate are designed with story as the main selling point of the game. And whether you enjoy the gameplay or not, the story is fun to uncover. If a story is good, it also generally means it has more replayability, especially if that game has branching pathways or multiple endings. Of course, there's the complete other side of things as well. Not everyone actually cares about story in games. You might just be someone who doesn't want that in their gaming experience. A game like Factorio doesn't have much of a story beyond, these bugs don't like your factory. Deal with it. Because truthfully, it doesn't have to. No one really cares about the story when you're trying to build something that looks like this. That's why story can often lead to breaking up the gameplay experience. If you're just getting into the gameplay and having fun with the mechanics, it can be frustrating to be met with a bunch of dialogue or a cutscene. I find this true for myself personally when playing multiplayer games. I want to just be enjoying my friend's company and not reading through 30 text boxes of dialogue. So let's get back to our original question. Should games have story? Well, no. And that's probably pretty obvious because not all games can or do have it. Some of the world's most beloved games don't. You're not a card wizard fighting the evil Joker Lord in Balatro. No, you're just you playing with a deck of cards and a crazy bunch of jokers. But there's one crucial part we haven't honed in on yet. The most important part of storytelling. You, the listener, the observer. Because no story truly exists unless there's someone there to hear it. Because it's you who decides what a game's story is. Whether it's piecing together the narrative fragments and uncovering the hidden tale, or whether it's skipping all the dialogue and beating the game in an hour just so you can brag about it to your friends. Because in a game, you write the story. Because without you, it's just fragments of one, until you've uncovered its secrets or you've made it to the end. Sometimes stories get in the way because we're making our own stories when we play. I play Remnant 2 with my brother, not to discover where the root came from or why it's destroying the earth. I play because I want to spend time with him and make our own stories. I don't play Risk Rain 2 with my friends because I want to read through the logbook and understand all the secrets of why the world is the way it is. No, I play it because I want to spend time with my friends and hear about their day. At the same time, I play Hades because I care about Zagreus' story, about how his family relationships evolved and how he keeps pushing forward even after death. I play Inscryption not just because of its fun mechanics, but because of the mystery behind it all, behind the cards, behind the cabin, behind the game even itself. So the truth is, games have story whether you like it or not, because as people, we make our own stories. Because at the end of the day, Zagreus' ascension out of Tartarus, vanquishing the root from the earth, and defeating Mithrix on the moon are just as much of a story as the ones you tell each other after the game is over. The story of you diving through the enemy team to save your friend, the story of you playing all your cards at the end in an epic duel, the story of you clutching to revive your brother, just in time to defeat the final boss. Story is inevitable whether it's written into a game or not, because a game isn't truly a story until you've played it.
Dun dun dun.
Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video.
Yeah,
if you're interested in game
that
design
one.
discussions like this, check out my Discord, where we talk game design and like chickens and axolotls and stuff. So It's pretty cool. But yeah, my games are also on there, which are free to play, so please check those out as well. Lastly, if you like this video, please subscribe. It would mean both the world to me and Luna here. You know, it basically means we can keep making these sort of videos, so. Anyway, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.
Ta-da! That's it. First of all, thank you for the 30 bits and the gigantified Luna. And your very kind compliments. Beautifully made. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I feel like it's not like, I don't know if the editing's as good as like some of my other ones, but I also tried to not have like to overdo it with the editing, you know? It might be your best yet. Yeah, honestly, I feel really good about the script, like it actually like kind of makes you feel something, you know? Nerve was awesome, really made me think. Okay, well that's good. That's kind of the point, right? About the question. Yeah. Why don't I hear? Oh, because I turned down my. I think we lost Toot through that though. That's okay. But yeah, I don't know. I felt good about that one. Oh, he's writing a huge response. He's essaying right now. But yeah. Yeah, no, I felt good about it. Was there anything you noticed you're like, that's weird, or any sound things or critiques, or? I'm too proud of you. You should be proud of yourself. Well, thank you, Bean. It does mean a heck of a lot. I mean it. Yeah. Hopefully it performs well, but don't change a thing. Okay. Deal. I needed to hear that. I'm sure. But yeah, so it's always nerve-wracking just like having to I don't know, just posting a video, you know. So hopefully it performs well. That's my biggest hope. I think most of this looks good. I think it just needs I think this just needs to be redone. It looks bad. But yeah, thank you for watching it. Thank you for letting me know what you think. You'll see I used examples from what's it called? What's the one that you told me that you said? God, why am I blanking on the name? It Takes Two. Yes, there we go. Sorry, I was like blanking on the name. Super hardcore. But yeah. Courtesy of Bean there. I would have forgotten about it. These crystals could be more crystal shaped, but you know, here we are. Just give them a better glow and calling it a day. But yeah, no, I did put It Takes Two in there and reminded me that Split Fiction exists. Which I've heard like less good things, but the reviews are still overwhelmingly positive on Steam, which is interesting. So I don't know what to believe. But you know, here we are. But yeah, swear, every time I pick up Luna, I somehow just get cat hair in my mouth. What is do add and just tone it down a little bit, like 50%. There we go. I like that you compared multiple genres to answer the same question, and I fully got a story doesn't exist until you play it, and the same stories as you tell your friends after you playing. I was nodding along like an insane person. Okay, good. Yeah, I think that was like one of the things. It's like sometimes it's really hard to like make sure you have like the right flow and like making sure you're introducing the right points to a person as you go along, right? So I'm glad that clicked, right? Like all the points I led you through made you agree with my opinion, right? It's not even like almost an opinion. Well, I mean, it is an opinion, I suppose, but it's more factual, you know, in a sense. They didn't specifically go into too much detail about one genre, which I would have been an instant turn off for me. Okay, well, that's good. Yeah, it was more of like, yeah, an overview of games as a whole, so I didn't want to go too far into any one thing, you know? Yeah, hopefully it goes over well. I'll show you my thumbnail, and I'm unsure about it. It's basically the little like book opening thing. I mean, I don't know. It looks like somewhere between like one of my thumbnails and like between one of my thumbnails and what I would expect to see out of a video essay, you know? So this is one, but I don't think this is the one I'm going with. How do I go then? Does it not let me go to the next photo? I thought that was oh yeah, it's okay. So yeah, I had like story or lore. I wasn't sure what word to use. But then I decided to do like games in the backgrounds instead of just like one of my random cards. I thought that felt more clickable. I don't know. We'll see. But I don't know if lore or story. I mean, technically the thing's more about story. Yeah, it's better, I think, more generic, yeah. Lore is interesting because, like, one of the things they say to do with a YouTube video is, like, the title or the text on the thumbnail shouldn't be the same as the stuff you have in the your title, right? Like my title, I think, is going to be do games need story? So the question is, do I just like throw story on there or do I do lore? Because it's like another word to use to capture people's attention. But I don't really, I mean, I guess I kind of talk about lore, but I kind of don't. I don't know. It's like, I don't want this to be misleading, but yeah. I think it would make more sense to me to be story. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Oh, we're about to hit an ad, aren't we? Yeah, we're about to hit an ad. Contextually more accurate, yeah. So I'll probably do story. Maybe I'll make it a little bit smaller so that you can see the characters' faces in it. Maybe. Let's just open it real quick. Don't tell me I didn't save it. I did. It's just here. I was thinking, I guess maybe we do... I don't know. Nah, it's better bigger. I think it's okay if the characters' faces are slightly obscured. You get the idea. I suppose I can move them slightly, but then it kind of gets obscured by the vignette. I don't know. It's probably fine. Honestly, worst case, if it doesn't perform accurately, I can just change my thumbnail, which, you know, whatever. Anyway, we're hitting an ad. I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna hit the bathroom real quick, and then we'll keep on keeping on. Be right back.
I've been trying to think of a way to create a magic system for my game that lets players craft their own spells. And after years of searching, I finally found a solution from an unlikely place. Mad Libs. Yeah, that's right, Mad Libs. The book that you fill in random words to get silly sentences like, "Ouch," he said stupidly as he jumped into his convertible cat and drove off with his brave wife. Or at least that's what the book has as like a prompt. Anyway, but before I get to explain how I use this in my game, let's talk about magic and games in general. Because even though I've been trying to find a solution to making spells in games, it's not like it hasn't been done before. I'm making a tabletop role-playing game, so let's look at the king of TTRPGs, Dungeons & Dragons. Yeah, I look at this game a lot. Get over it. But yeah, while I say digging into it, there's really not that much digging to be done. There's about a total of 4 paragraphs in the Dungeon Master Guide, 3 paragraphs of which say, "Look at this chart, you dumb, stupid idiot." And the others say, if you create too powerful spells or dumb ones, then you'll break the game. Of course, this is paraphrasing a bit, but, you know, it's hardly a structured system for spells. Which basically means the best way to make a spell in D&D is make up whatever you want the spell to do, and then find an existing one to keep it balanced. Which allows you to figure out what sort of stats, along with spell slots or spell components, if you use those. Okay, so this really isn't going to work for us, so let's take a look at video games. One that always comes to mind for me is Oblivion. The concept for this was pretty simple. There was a list of magical effects the player acquired based on their mastery of each spell. Then there was a category for the way the player would cast a spell, whether it's self, touch, or target. Target meaning spell like pew pew. Furthermore, longer durations or more powerful effects would have a higher gold cost, along with a higher mana cost when you actually, use the spell. So this is a pretty cool idea. However, in classic Bethesda style, it could be completely abused and made the game incredibly broken. For instance, I remember one time making a character with 100% chameleon, which basically made you invisible all the time, and other characters couldn't even see you, even when you were attacking them. Or this one I found where someone used a drain effect to somehow become invisible riding a horse, seeing your own lifeless body. I don't know. Now, that isn't to say that in a tabletop RPG, a game master couldn't help balance this sort of system and make it fair, but that just kind of puts us back on the same problem of D&D's spell creation. Now, I know there's probably newer games that have better spell systems that exist. Like, I think Wizards of Legends is supposed to have some cool stuff, but I don't have time to play other people's games. Come on, what are you talking? I'm making my own game. Yeah, get out of here. Okay, but seriously, let's get to the point. I was pondering all of this over one day, and then it came to me. Mad Libs. A sentence with a bunch of blanks that you could fill with nouns, verbs, and adjectives to make a complete sentence. Or in my case, a spell with a bunch of blanks that could be filled with different elements, casting sizes, shapes, and durations. So rather than our other 2 examples, where you would either have someone creating something completely from scratch, or the other being just stacking spells on top of each other to make a new one, this gives you a base spell to fill with blanks, and then you can customize it how you like. For instance, let's say you had something like cast blank element, blank number of feet, and that affects a blank sized blank shape. I can fill that and say cast a fireball 30 feet that affects a 15-foot size
You're trapped in here now, kitten.
Or maybe something like cast water 10 feet away that affects...
Yo, I'm back. My kitten so much wants my attention. I feel bad. That'll be the nice thing about being done with this video, is that I feel like I have time to be human again. I haven't really been like cooking food, or like, I may have, but I just haven't really been taking care of myself too well. But you on this stream right now and go spend time with Luna. How about this? How about we do both? I'll have to dash in on EP. Why are you so eepy? Here. We'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone right now. Hold on. Hold on. Hold. A little cutie, huh? I'm working ridiculous work patterns at the moment. I slept 6 hours nonstop without Fluffy Luna. Aw. I broke up your spent. What? I spent 6 hours nonstop without a Oh, I read slept, didn't I? Dyslexia. Sorry. Spent 6 hours without a break. Yeah, not slept. I was like, that seems like a good amount of sleep. In fact, you might need more. I got distracted by Fluffy Luna. I know. She's very cute and fluffy. And very distractible. But yeah, damn, that's rough, dude. I've been there. It was a little snoot boop for me, I know, right? I reached down, she's like, huh. She snooted the boop, not booped the snoot, you know? I didn't boop her snoot, she snooted the boop. And that's the cuter part about it. Some people might not understand the intricacies of that, but I think here we can all appreciate. I'll tell you what. We can all appreciate the snoot and the boot. I don't know if I exported this already, but we're gonna do it again because I just changed some things. Do not. But yeah, if you have to go, if you done snooted the boop, I tell you what, they snooted the boop. Sound like, never mind. Anyway, here we are. But yeah, if you're sleepy and gotta go, no worries, my friend. I appreciate you stopping in and hanging out whenever you have the time. So do not fret if you have to go. But if you have to stay, then don't leave, you know? Never leave. Want to see my whip? I sure do. I do want to see your whip. I want to watch you whip, watch you nay-nay, if you know what I mean. Yeah, whip, whip. Oops. Sorry. Cracks whip. It already looks so much better. Um, make it a little bit softer, I think, than I had it. It was a little too intense, maybe. Oops. I don't know. Honestly, that's good enough for me. I don't want to spend too much time on it. Bro fully dipped into hyper focus. Me? Did I miss something? I did focus up, but I didn't miss any text, did I? No, Luna, yes, you. But there wasn't anything I missed. You didn't even say anything. Ooh, I do see your stream chat thing, though. Who's this friend? You did the face? That's fair. Who are friend? Who is friend? Who be friend? First of all, awesome. It's very cute. I like the style. I like the colors. I like the execution. See, like I can never do like friend is some rando from the ocean. So this is an original character, is that what you're saying? I like the fabric. I can never do that. Like, I don't know how to do fabric folds like that. It kind of reminds me, yeah, completely from Bean's Mysterious Brain. It does remind me like Water Genasi, kind of, loosely elemental inspired. Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I like the eye style and all that. It's very good. It's a very cute style. I like it. Heck yeah, Bean. You go. It ever so slightly reminds me of one of my D&D characters that I probably have showed on here before, but just both in the fact that is a water character and like the sort of clothes style is similar. At least like the pants, I guess, on. They seem like they could be friends, you know? Yeah, big pants. You drew your pants better than I did, though. I'm like, how do you legs? How do you even do that? I don't know what shoes to give her. I might just make built-in flippers or something. Yeah, I guess that's fair, right? Like, webbed feet might make sense. Yeah. I like the like, what's it called? Constellation sort of pattern on the pants. That's fun. But yeah. Hell yeah, Bean. Looks good. Are you having fun drawing? I know you were feeling bad about it the other day. I think it's cute. You did a great job. I love it. She's a cutie. I guess still quite prim, needs a lot more rendering. I don't know, Bean. I mean, I believe in you to do more rendering and make this look amazing, but like this is what my finished rendering would look like. So good job is what I'm trying to say. You're doing great. Yes, I'm enjoying. Thanks to your thanks for your kind words. You are more than welcome, my friend. Yeah, it's fun. I like the character. Just gonna add a little bit of little haze, maybe some. There we go. Just a smidge better. Look, I'm wholesome when Fig toots and Dalamus aren't here to witness it. I guess so. You're wholesome a lot. Don't be that way to yourself either. You definitely you like to tease, but you are a wholesome being. You do the wholesome. Wholesale wholesome being. Shh, don't say it too loudly. We'll hear. Is the line art layer here? Yeah, let's do this over the line art layer. There we go. Makes it look a little more grounded. The whole some dim sum buy win some. What? Who? Why? When? What about dim sum? I was really tempted to get Chinese food for dinner, and I still might. I really try not to spend extra money, but man. Come on, you know I'm unhinged. That's fair. I like it. We like the unhinged. We are here for it. Maybe do one more layer where it's just like kind of a lot of glow, and then we just kind of tone it back a bit. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. Sure. I mean, it's a Barrens. It's not supposed to be very interesting, you know? BRB moving to Beddington. Beddington Bear. Beddington, or bed in British. I hope you heard that. Anyway, Wasteland. Yes. Okay, that is all the lands, I believe. By lands, I mean wastelands. It's funny how you still say the wrong thing after. I don't need this up anymore. After, like, months of it being a different word. Like you change the terminology and you just still don't say it right. To be fair, it does say lands here, so. Yes to all. Did also grab myself a protein bar so I can go a little bit extra longer. So I am going through dinner a little bit for this because I start early. We need to edit Neff, and we need to edit Gotta Rot. Part of me likes how this one looks, like how sporadic it is. Let's see if we can replicate it with this brush, but if not, we might. I did hear that. Okay, good. I'd be sad if you didn't. Okay, yeah, that still works. I think I might actually erase with this brush. Maybe we'll do a little bit of drawing with the old brush, just to get the outer texture of it. You're an old brush? Wow. And just like that, the kindness was gone in a flash. It was there and then it died. We're actually getting pretty damn close to being done with this, which is exciting. With this whole fixing. Oh god. What is happening? Hello? Did we lose Scrubby Zoom for some reason? I really don't know what's happening. I don't know why I was doing that. I'm so sorry. I have this quirk where I turn evil when I'm in Beddington. That's fair. Same. No, not same. His quirk, he turns evil when in bed. Cool. Wow, super difficult to fix. 2 brush strokes. All right, that's all those. God of Rot and God of Entropy. Oop, that's the wrong folder. Old Gods. Upload. Let's do all images. Another bite of my protein bar. What's left? Spells. Which is probably one of the worst set of things. Like, it's probably the ones that look the worst. This one's fine, but because I did this one more recently. Still not sure these hands look like hands, but you know, here we are. I think they look like hands from this angle, but if you rotate them at all, it just like all of a sudden looks bad. But yeah, they're good enough. Look at this sad little guy. I don't know what purple this is. It probably is this purple. We'll believe. Cool. Is both simultaneously the most work I have to do on these things, and then also the least effort. This shouldn't be just like floating over here. I don't know why that's there. Okay, and then what color is this? This guy? Nope, certainly not. This? Yeah. The Desolation of Smaug. Turn it down like just a few percent to not be so in your face. Cool. File, export, PNG. Look at that delicious accretion, right? Accretion disk? Accretion. I wish I could do the like, can I do the text to speech and then just like, oh, I can actually do that. This changes everything.
Running 36 says that looks like a delicious accretion disk.
Okay, I was right. So I actually can just right click and listen to the thing. Oh, that makes it okay. I think we found a solution. Because I was worried that like I didn't want to have text to speech for everything because I thought that would be annoying for everyone. But if I can just click on one of the things and listen to it, I can do that. Because I can just turn on auto so like it automatically says everything every time. But in this case, I can just right click and do it. So that's kind of a happy medium, you know? Oh my God, says Bean. Go my odd. This art is my permanent state. What? Confusion? Stupefied? Is actually technically what this one's called. Constantly stupefied. Always stupefied. Same. Same, but different. I gotta give a heart to your little thing there. The world's an enigma wrapped in a riddle. Wrapped in bacon. That too. Nefarious swap. Basically just an Uno reverse card. Except not for me. Sorry, what's not for you? The bacon? You not like bacon? Or did I say something else and now I'm just confusing myself? I'm a pesky vegetarian. See that? I kind of thought you might be, just for some reason. Just had that vibe, you know? But I did this on the wrong layer, but that's okay. For some reason, it just felt like a thing. But you also were like Borgor, and I'm like, is that an insult? No, it's just I'm still here, but I've been on the phone with my dad. Yo. I'm proud of you. Proud of me? No, it's not an insult. I was just thinking that, like, it just seemed like your vibe, you know? I just wanted to show you that I'm still here. Awesome, Toot. I'm proud. I'm happy you're still here. You did miss the video, but, you know. You're always here in spirit, Tootsies. Indeed. Indeed he is. Tooties? Not Tootsies. Tooties. Whatever. Either way. What's left? Ambush. Okay. Magenta. What does a tongue lashing mean? I thought it was like getting scolded, but I could be wrong. Could be something weird and weird, you know? Sounds like a good trick question to ask someone. Sure. There you go. Just readjusting my settings, my chair settings. Additional posture check. Even more posture. Activate. I need to get like a longer microphone arm. It's like slightly too short. I like how this kind of looks like a face. I'm sure that was intentional, but... Why am I not even using my art pad? I'm just using my mouse for some stupid reason. It's like, why is this not like doing a light color? It's like because you're clicking. Chair creaks or back creaks? Good question. Yeah, microphone arm. Microphone arm creaks. Should probably put new, that was not an option. My chair creaks a little bit, so probably my back. Got that creaky back. Living that creaky life. That creaky life. Who the heck is this white layer? There. Okay. Magenta. It's kind of like this. Like this, and like this, and like that. Just a little bit behind the face. And then there's another layer, and it's white. And there's just a little bit in the corners, giving a little something extra, you know, little yummy little bit there. That's it. I think that's all of them. I think we did it. We have officially fixed every card. The question is, what do we do now? I think we take a bite of this protein bar. Yeah, there we are. I guess we can just go through and double check that I didn't miss any, but all the art should be a little bit more cleaned up. It's not perfect. Not all of them are perfect, but at least it doesn't have any of that weird texture anymore. We don't have, and like the really egregiously bad ones were fixed. So that's all we can ask for. So yeah, all those are good. Double check player cards. Yeah, some of them were really bad before with that texture. It was just too much. It's okay when it's like sparingly, but certain spots it was just way too ugly, you know what I mean? Yeah, like Scorched Earth is one that could definitely be completely remade, but who's got time for that, you know? Ain't nobody got time for that. All right, we're good. We did it. We made it to the end. Not the end of the stream, but the end of this portion of the stream. The question is, what's next? We probably should consult the what's next board. This is all I had plans for currently, like today, and I didn't think it would go this fast. So, let's see if there's anything else we can do. We tweaked the old God card art. That's all done. We do need to play test. We could do stream improvements. I did start on a better wave emote because I wasn't happy with the one I did. I feel like I can do better, especially after the new laugh emote. I thought the laugh emote looks... I really liked how that one turned out, and I feel like I can do better, you know? Should make an angry emote. I could do that. We're kind of like running out of slots already, though. Kind of weird. So I can use it all the time. Little Angie emote. Do you ever get more like normal slots? I feel like I've only gotten, well, and granted, I haven't like gotten like a whole heck ton of like how many more? I'm trying to see how many more I would need to get. Yeah, I need like 20 subscribers to get another emote. Okay, it'd be a standard and an animated. Okay, I see how that works. But I think I got 2 bonus animated ones. Now we're just on, at 20 we'll get whatever. Right now we're capped out on I'm excited to see Toots on stream. Yeah, I'll be curious how he'll do it. I wonder if he'll have a cam and stuff, or if he'll just do whatever. Curious how Toots will do it. Yeah, because I think we don't have any other static normal emote slots left. Unless we got rid of something. WoW art we could potentially get rid of, but I actually kind of like WoW art, actually. I'm kind of a fan. I kind of use it. I use that on other people's streams, not my own. But yeah, I'd be excited to see a Toots stream. Don't picture that in your head. Don't picture a Toots stream. Yep. I was just picturing a stream of Toots, not a... Yeah. So look at that laugh emote. I'm so happy with it. I'm like way too proud of that emote. It gives me way too much joy. Way more than it should. What's wrong with a stream of Toots? I'll just, yeah, I don't know. Who's to say? Beats has to teach me how to use OBS and tell me what an overlay is. Bro, you just ask, you just ask, you know, and I'll be there. Anytime, anywhere, any place. When's your first stream gonna be, Toots? I'm also happy to help if you need anything. Indeed. I mean, an overlay is just, you know, your like background stuff, right? But kind of unnecessary. It's like not really something you need. Like you could just have your stream look like this. And honestly, in some ways, I kind of like it like this because it's just cleaner. Not cleaner, but, you know, less cluttered. But that is why I did this one, but other people seem to like the other one better, so. You're probably gonna feel nervous for your first stream, but we'll all be there. Indeed. I fully believe in you. It is nice that, like, when I started streaming, I had, like, I was just like, I guess I'm gonna do it. Actually, I think I did it when my friends were live, so a lot of them were there. Not live, but I did it, like, actually, I don't know. Maybe I didn't. I don't think I did it with friends, when friends were around. Not around, but you know what I mean. Like, I did it at like 2 p.m. when everyone was working. And I was like, okay, that was a silly thing to do when you're first starting out. This is one of the really cool things about having been doing streaming, is that I've like reconnected with a lot of, or connected more with friends that I either hadn't talked to in a while or hadn't interacted with enough and all that kind of stuff. It's been really really cool, honestly. I still have the stream muted, so I can't hear your kind words, Needleby. Let's do this. I love meeting you both. I mean, you love meeting us both. Loved makes it feel like, I guess loved works in the sentence. I was like, it makes it sound like he's saying you stink like blue cheese. See, he saw my heart. I was gonna say loved made it sound like I loved you both. Goodbye. It sounds more dramatic, you know? Don't tell me what I meant. Bean, you better not leave us. Sorry, I'm chewing. I'm not meeting you now, am I? You're a close personal friend. Look at you chomping. Nom nom nom. At least it's not carrots, right? Crunch, 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 crunch. All right, what do we want? What do we want to do? Ugh, thank God. Are you actually someone who's like really bothered by chewing sounds? Or are you being dramatic? Yes to both? I'm gonna say that's yes to both. We're gonna work on this wave emote potentially. We'll see how I feel about it. Leaves. Goodbye. Goodbye, Bean. Fare thee well. Animated emotes. Yeah, I wasn't sure how to feel about this one yet. Honestly, I don't know if I like the freeze frame of... The idea was like, we were trying to copy like a little bit of the like Discord wave high ones, you know, like these ones. But the problem is you don't want them to be too, like, you don't want them to be this size because you won't see anything, right? They'll be too, they're too small like that. Or if this was smaller, you wouldn't be able to see the detail. But the motion is good, right? Like the leaning to wave, right? But the problem is, as an emote, that's not great. As a sticker, it works perfectly, but... And I don't know if, like, the wiggling back and forth really works. I do like it better than... I don't know. I kind of almost don't know if I need to even change what I have. Kind of makes me not want to do it. Just looking at it makes me think I'm okay with the one I have currently. But this is cuter. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to do it. I give up. What do I want to do? I'm just floundering now. We're just floundering around. Just fishing around, you know. Maybe we actually finally implement I was like, what is that explosion sound? I'm like, all right, it's the 4th of July. There's gonna be fireworks. I probably should be done before like it gets too late. I'm gonna go for a bit longer, but I definitely don't want to go too late because there will just be like explosion sounds outside at all times. That is another good reason to have done it this stream earlier. Not devlogs. Why? Where is? How is? Oh, here. I was like, where is this folder? We could implement the airship. Because we drew art for it, but we never did it. So let's try that. Oh. So the airship, it doesn't really quite work anymore, but it does not require a land to place. And then it has... So, you know, before that wasn't a thing anyway. Unit effects structure has no longer needs to... Structure no longer needs to be placed on lands. If this structure dies... So is all others without land. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't really work. Here's game benefits, but dies if the airship does. That doesn't really make any sense. Yeah, I guess the problem is now is that it kind of doesn't make sense anymore. It used to make sense, but now structures don't require lands in order to be placed. They only require them to be active. So, I'm gonna move my art pad out of the way because we're not doing more drawing currently. So either this is like a base effect of does not require a land to be active, would be it's like part of its base effect, and then I would assume it also makes, like, one of the ideas would be like All structures. Not structures. What are they called? Are they called? Yeah, structures. All become active even without lands. Honestly, probably just say including this one, and then just remove the first sentence. So that's one option. It seems way too niche for it to be really that good, though. I remember one of the other ideas being like kind of like the merchant, where the merchant can travel back and forth. This could potentially have an ability that lets you bring heroes back and forth. Or like, I think that could be fun. So it could be like an ability where like spend 4 units, maybe. That might be too high still. Well, spend 4 units. Bring the, well, let's just copy the wording from an existing card, right? Because we don't want it to get confusing. Merchant. Where is the merchant? Remove 2 units from this card. Move this card and a hero to another player's play space. We can probably say structure. Hope I spelled it right. That way it'll be one less word. This structure and a hero to another player's play space. And it'd probably be more units, maybe like 4. It honestly could be both effects. I mean, maybe we just play with both of them, and worst case, it just doesn't work out. I mean, it's a beta deck, right? So it's like if it's like a bad ability, we just change it. We don't need Embassy anymore because that one's in the main game. I should remove even. All structures become active without lands under them. Without lands. That's fine. There's probably a better way to say that, but for now it's okay. We'll do an ability. I am a little bit like meh on adding another card with an ability. I lost where I was here. Because I probably added too many cards with abilities at this point. Just removing all of the ones that are already in game. There we go. Oh, we're hitting an ad. I'll take a quick break. See you all in 3 minutes. Dad finally released me. Well, you're hitting an ad break, so dang it. You get to watch. You get
I've
to
been
watch.
trying to
this in
think
the
of a way to
meantime.
create a magic system for my
3
game
minutes
that
in.
lets players craft their own spells. And a sentence with a bunch of
I'll be
blanks
back in
that you could
3
fill
minutes,
with
my friend.
nouns, verbs, and adjectives to make a complete sentence. Or in my case, a spell with a bunch of blanks that could be filled with different elements, casting sizes, shapes, and durations. So rather than our other two examples, where you would either have someone creating something completely from scratch, or the other being just stacking spells on top of each other to make a new one, this gives you a base spell to fill with blanks, and then you can customize it how you like. For instance, let's say you had something like cast blank element, blank number of feet, and that affects a blank sized blank shape. I can fill that and say cast a fireball 30 feet that affects a 15-foot sized sphere. Or maybe something like cast water 10 feet away that affects a 100-foot cube. Now, one thing I neglected to mention is my game is card-based, so the spell base and components would end up being made out of cards rather than, writing it on a notepad, which I suppose makes it a lot more like another game. That's right, apples to apples, which really just goes to show that everyone's stealing ideas from each other. I mean, apples to apples is just Mad Libs in card form, which leads me to my next point. At first I was thinking I was super original with this idea, but it turns out I wasn't. One cozy Christmas morning, I received a package from my friend, and it was this, hold on. This game, Cryptozoic Entertainment's Epic Spell Wars of the Battle Wizards Duel at Mount Skullfire, is a very similar game. All right, back into the recording closet I go. The game goes like this. You are wizards battling each other. And to do that, of course, you have to cast spells. Casting a spell consists of three components: a source, a quality, and a delivery. A spell can consist of just one of these components, or up to all three, but not more than one of each, unless the card specifies, but yeah. Then combining all these cards together makes a full spell. There is some other nuance to this, like magic types and stuff like that, that helps the game have a little bit more complexity, but that's the main idea. So in theory, you could just take this game and slap it onto an existing tabletop RPG as your spell system, but the real problem is this is extremely mechanics heavy. Cards can create more cards, creating other cards to create more effects that end up chaining into some really interesting combos. However, I'm striving for my game to not be too crunchy and allow it to be more roleplay focused, so I, don't want to do that. That being said, despite me not being completely original, there are some improvements and changes I can make to implement this sort of system into my game. But before I do that, I have a confession to make. I've been lying to you this entire time. My game doesn't really have magic at all. It's a sci-fi game with nanotechnology that allows a character to become more powerful than a normal human, using things like fire and water. Okay, it's magic, all right? It's magic. It's just, as Arthur C. Clarke once said, any sufficient advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. But yeah, so implementing this idea into my game. Let's start with a familiar format of Cards Against Humanity. One set of cards with blanks and one with filler words. Or in my system, nano programs, and the fillers are going to be called nanites, so I'll be referring to them as that. Now the question arises, how are each of these cards implemented? Currently the player will draw around 6 ability cards at the start of their turn. We could have nano programs and nanites in the same deck, however this could likely lead to some problems where you either have a full hand of nano programs or a full hand of nanites, and nothing to do with them. This is unless you're able to use nano programs without filling in blanks, or nanites without a program. Although I'm not sure how that would work. It kind of works in the Wizard battle game, but not sure how that would work in this game. So instead my solution is to have 2 separate decks. One with your nano programs, and the other with nanites. Nano programs you would draw as normal, whereas nanites you would search through your deck and pick your cards at will. This not only solves the issue.
Okay. I guess I can do this. Maybe a better display. I don't know. Yeah, let's fix up the beta cards real quick. I feel like there's something going on with these. I don't know why they're. It's not in the normal cards, is it? Oops. Oh no, it's not. It's just the spreadsheet is messed up. probably missing some stuff here. What are we missing? Copies, card type, card name, nickname, base, secondary effect, effect box. Sorry, I'm probably gonna give you a headache just jumping back and forth between these, but effect icon, unit spawn icon. It's the same, weird. Man, I missed the whole video, but I'll be sure to watch it tomorrow. You can also go back on YouTube and watch it, technically, but... Or I could play it again, but... I could do it twice. But... I'll probably release it at like noon tomorrow is my guess. Why? I'm really confused as to why. In theory, there should be something here that says if there is an effect, then it does an icon. Oops. I don't think I manually put all those in there. There's no way. Ah, yes, effect box icon. Here it is. I'm head off now. I was like Heracross, like the Pokemon. Thank you for stream beats and toots. Hail and well met to see you, sir. See you next time. Hoddle hoddle. Bean, it's good to see you as always. You are a champion of a bean among beans. A bean among not beans. A bean among you're, I don't know. I lost it. You're a good bean. Have a great night. Sleep well. We will see you bright and early on Monday. I assume. Okay, we need to add this in here. Move. Add row. Add to look. No, wait. Column left. Paste this in here. Scoochies over. Yeah, it's actually funny because wait, is that right? Yeah, okay, that's right. So now this should be fixed. Or not. It probably just didn't update yet. We'll get there. Good night, Beats. Good night, Bean. Oh, wait. I already read that. Whatever. Here we are. Good night. Good night regardless. Okay. We also need to find the... Did we even upload the right art in here? Did we... Or did we... Okay, we need to... We need the art. We need the art. Gotta find that art. I did not upload it. God, I hate when I get like random friend requests because I'm assuming it's someone who doesn't like, who is like a fake person who's just trying to like sell me something on Discord. But there is a chance, you know, there's always a chance it's someone actual, but likely it's not, and it just has a notification until I do something about it. So that's fun. Okay, we want this. We want to replace it with that. Now we can go and update the beta cards. Refresh. Effect icon column. No, wait. Go back. It'd be in here. There it is. Look at that. There's the airship. Except it doesn't say airship. It probably should be like... Actually, no, I'm pretty sure we decided it was going to be the like ice nation that we haven't really... Is airship one word or two words? Airship. What if it's a real friend trying to sell you something? Then maybe they would know I don't have any money. Toots, is airship one word or two? I think it's one. I thought it was one word, yeah. Like I had it written as two, but yeah. I do have to come up with a name for the like ice nation. Again, I don't really have any. A quick Google confirms one word. Perfect. I was about to say perfect. But yeah. So we could put like a name for like the people, whoever they are. Because we have a mythical, and by mythical I mean we don't really have a name for them yet. Like ice group, because we have kind of like different motifs for like different things, right? Like the barbarians have sort of a desert theme. Sorry, my phone was just vibrating. You know, the desert theme. There's the desert, and there's the Wasteland Forest and Fortress, and there's the giant turtle and whatnot. You know, and the witch's hut. There's like, you know, sort of a dark magic theme with, you know, the necromancer. Freaking love the giant turtle. Yeah, me too. So cute. Little baby turtle. But yeah, it's a friend for sure. That's one of my favorite drawings of yours. I remember being really impressed watching you draw the process. Yeah, I think that one was a good one. I also like the short I have with this one, where I have like the little advice with it. Is a good YouTube short. But yeah, in theory, there's a ice tribe who does like the tundra and in the embassy, you can see their like little logo. I think maybe no, it's this one. That one. I don't know which one it is. So yeah, that is something we need to come up with. Toots, do you got any good names for a theoretical ice tribe? I don't know what like god they would pray to, what their like main thing would be. I may also want to create one more new god for the thing. Just a whole group of peoples, like it's a tribe or country or something. Yeah, I mean, like, so, you know, we've got, like, as far as groups go, why are we missing? What is happening here? Like, we have the Osgathians, which are, like, I guess, like, the main human kingdom. We've got, like, the religious order, which doesn't really have a name, but it's usually based on, like, some sort of sun thing, right? So, like, Cleric of the Last Dawn, Paladin of the Last Dawn, Cleric of the Solstice, Priest of the Purifying Light. So they have like a sort of light sun theme. Like the Wasteborn Barbarians, they have kind of like a, I don't know, a Baron's aesthetic, right? There's elves, so the Compound Archer and the Hemforest Druid. So it's not really like a, it could be like a specific region name, or it could be like a sort of like a, not an archetype, but like that kind of thing. Like we could, you know, call them like Eskimos or something, right? Which I don't know what the optics look on that like that these days, but we can call them like, you know, like that kind of idea, except I don't want to use like existing words necessarily for that. Or something like, you know, blah blah tribe, you know, like, or the nation of blah blah. So, like, in this case, like, I'm thinking the airship might be named after it. So it's like Bleep Bloopy and the airship, you know? It's not something I have to do right now, but I was just trying to think of, like, that would be something that could be done. I'm not even sure about this effect, but you don't need to come up with anything. Don't worry about it. We're just having some fun here. I'm still not sure about this one, but I guess that's why it's in the beta cards, right? I'll look up some Eskimo words. There you go. I was just letting you participate if you wanted to, you know? Quanic. Snow in the air. Put. Snow on the ground. Participating. Wait. Oh, I like participating. Sorry, I was like, is that another word? Like, that's not a different word. No, you like participating and whatever, yeah. A lot of snow words, huh? A Pussingik. Snowdrift. A lot of Q's and P's and like, yeah, it's interesting. All right. Now we just I like Quelnic, the idea of snow in the air. I'm trying to decide if I want to use like an existing word like that though, right? But that is kind of cool for an airship, right? Like, I'm trying not to, like, I guess like a barbarian like is an existing thing, right? But like it's also it's using a base or something else, yeah. I like the kind of how it sounds though. Most people don't into it anyway, yeah. What about like Quelnic? Well, cool. I don't know. Is that something? How do you even pronounce? Is that my Quelnic. I don't know. I'm just making up a word. Like Osgathian's completely made up, right? This kind of has that flavor without being a real word, probably. Do we like this fake word? Quelnic? Quenicrum? My dyslexic brain can't handle the IK hunt. See what? Oh wait, hunt. Wait. I can do this. Text to speech. Knikvik or Quenicrum? I keep thinking of Hunger Games because of the quarter quell. Interesting. Quenicrum? Quelnic? Yeah, I think the Q without a U is hurting my brain. I think that's what. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, how do you even on? I'm re-listening. Knikvik. Canicthar? I like Canicthar. Right? Canicthar? Canicthar. I like that one. Because the Q just ends up sounding like can, right? Like Canicthar. Canicthar? I like that. I like Q. Stop flirting with me. Just kidding. Can't handle it. Two, are you going to you gonna do make a blushing beats emoji? We're out of emoji slots practically. They all have to be animated from now on until we get like 20 subs. Well, 10 more subs essentially. So yeah, here we are. And then we get one singular static emote. Otherwise the blush, I guess we could do an animated blush. Bean wants an angry one though. Wait, how many subs? I believe 10 in order to get, because we're at 10 currently. I think. Mission, get 20 subscriber points. And you get +1 standard emote slot, +1 animated emote slot. We still have 4 animated emote slots that we can fill up. I guess we could do 1 standard tier 2 emote as well, but that feels rude to lock that one out. But yeah. Oops. There's a lot of other stuff we need to do before I can even think of like more emotes. There's like a whole, like if you go to my if you go to my channel, at the bottom of it, there's supposed to be like little panels I can put in, and I need to do those. I don't know. I'll have to look into that, but I need to have like little subscriber clicky things and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Let me check one thing real quick. Give me a second. Okay. Subscriber clicky thing. I was trying to absorb knowledge. Okay, let me actually explain properly. Let's look at like Tice's thing. I know he has cool stuff. Oh god. That's loud. So say you look at Tice's thing, right? If you look at I guess you look at his chat, right? Oh, this is gonna play something probably. No. Down here you see all these little buttons. So like you click on these and they would lead you somewhere. Like check out my devlogs, check out my Discord server or whatever. So you can click on those. I haven't done those yet, and I should have those. Because it really makes your stream look more professional. I suppose I could start doing those. Bro, you got this. Yeah. I know it's for sure not difficult to do. We could do that now, but that is something that needs to be done. There's just like so many art elements that you need to do for like a full stream if you really want to like do custom everything, you know? This is just like a nice way of presenting your links pretty much, right? Like I can just click on this. It lets it like be themed and stuff, you know? I'm sure there's like other examples. I don't know, PK's live, does he have stuff? Yeah, here. Or like PK, aka Painted King. He's got, you know, just like an about me sort of thing. I don't have any of these. I don't have like any of this information, so. I was checking out his art. Anyway. It's like, yeah, presenting your links, presenting your information. It like lets you, you know, have just like a nicer looking setup. So if someone looks at your page, they get to see your information and it's not just like a block of text. Yeah. So kind of, yeah. It'd be pretty easy to do. We could do that. Like I said, though, my brain's kind of out of like mental real estate. Graphic design is my passion. That makes perfect sense, you know? It's almost like you're a graphic designer. Almost as if, you know? I'm just trying to decide what I want to do. I would probably just do it like it would look similar to like my border, right? Like my overlay. Oh, yeah, I was gonna ask, are you gonna be doing like face cam and stuff for your streams? Or are you what are you doing for that? What's your plan? Tell me your secrets. Why is there... Oh, okay. I feel like that's what I should do. Is that what you want to do? Because there are other options. You could always go the the PNG tuber or the VTuber or the no image at all route. I think not having an avatar at all is probably a mistake, but you know, having an image or something could be if you want to remain anonymous, right? Because like that's what Bean does, right? Although Bean usually hasn't had his avatar on lately. Or like Tice again. He's got an avatar like similar to my little guy, right? Because I was, I was honestly tempted to do that before, but then I was like, it seems like a barrier to entry. I want to use streaming as an excuse to record me creating. The problem I have right now with French Fry is that I need content for social media. Figure I can combine inspiration from you and the content problem. Okay, yeah, I mean, there you go. So you'd work on content for your business, basically. Yes, sir. Well, there you go. And I guess your picture's on the website, so it's not like you're too afraid of showing yourself, I would assume. But yeah, anyway. Work content, personal projects, photo editing. There you go. Yeah. I can see it. Nothing specific, but I like the idea of streaming all of it and being buds. I agree. It's fun. It's a good time. I've been thoroughly enjoying streaming for sure. We also need to do like, so there's so many things you can add to a stream, like to like, we're getting to a point where I really need to like change the subscriber badges, right? Because there's those too. There's so many like art assets that are like potentially customizable, and I want cool stuff, but some of it's like, what of that do I do? It's almost overwhelming. Thank you for carrying me a lot. Yeah. My pleasure. Yeah, it's really cool that Twitch gives you so much creative expression. Yeah, it's both like awesome and overwhelming. Cause like, yeah, I can change the sub badges, I can change the channel points. I can change like part of the thing I think would be cool is like when you do a redeem, like I'd almost like it to be like animated, which would be cool, but it's like at the same time it's like that's a lot of work. I don't know, maybe for like the like going forward, I should just make a point to doing a lot of stream improvements on stream. Because right now we're kind of at like we keep hitting this sort of standstill on the games. So like both playing the games and this is just go away. I don't need that anymore. Both playing the games and stream improvements are probably like the biggest things that I can do that are like helpful. But yeah, we've got emotes. We can do plenty of those. We can do channel points. We need to do sub badges. We need to do, this is like a separate thing. Sub badges, redeems. I don't know why this is, whatever, it's fine. We also need, what are they called? Why is dyslexia under stream improvements? Oh, that's these are emote ideas. Someone was saying dyslexia would be a good emote. Like there should be a dyslexic emote. It should just be oh yeah, I didn't read emote. Yeah, it's up at the top there. Like we need to do the footer panels. So yeah. I'm still unsure like whether I want to do all these redeems. I don't think I need a tabletop tips one. I'm like unsure about that one. Like that one's fine, but like I feel like people can just ask me stuff, right? I mean, that's partly why I did like the art review one, is because, well, I don't know. The art review is a little different. Like I go into that. The tabletop tips would be like, I can talk about a tip for something while working on anything. Whereas the art review, I kind of have to take a step back to actually do it, right? So, granted, you know, I would do it right now for free, but if anyone like eventually has like enough stuff, like if I keep getting like if I get popular enough that people are asking all the time, then having a redeem for it is a good idea. But yeah, a full-on art commission like seems cool, but at the same time, I don't know if I really want something to be this expensive, like a very expensive thing. I kind of like the doodle idea better. And if someone really wants to commission me, they can pay me if I decide I want to do that. So I think the only thing I really think is interesting is adding an AE card to beta. I'm saving my bubbles for the doodle. I like bubbles, that is fun. Little channel points. Do you have a better name than Beatcoin or Radishes? Radishes is funny, but it's like not really what Beat is short for. I mean, we do have the Turnip King, and we've kind of gotten away from you know, the original idea of that. But Beatcoin I think is funny, but I don't know. Like Beatcoin, me too. I'm just cleaning this up a bit. I don't really know if I want an emote. I do say a good amount, but I don't think it's necessary. We do have to add an angry and a blush to the potentials. I do want the cowboy emote because I think that'd be funny. These are all ideas. I'm kind of just organizing my ideas because I kind of don't feel like getting started right now on anything. My brain's too cooked. Do you want to watch the video? If you want, we could, because I'm, like I said, I'm kind of just cooked. So if you want to watch it, we could. Sure, I'd be happy to. Okay, we'll do it. You have to want to, because I've seen it like 30,000 times now, so. And you can tell me what you think. Tell me if I need any reviews. Show me. I'm not going to say that out loud because I don't need to get clipped, you know? Not that we have anyone who would just clip me, but... Alright. You let me know if it needs to be louder or anything, but I'm just going to go for it and be quiet. This one.
Have you ever been playing a game?
On. Hold.
Have you ever been playing a game, maybe with a friend or on your own? Excited?
Hold.
Have you ever been playing a game, maybe
Yeah.
with a friend or on your own? Excited to dive into the combat or interesting mechanics? When you run into a character whose dialogue just seems to last forever. And even if the story seems interesting, you can't help but mash the skip button. Or maybe you played a game where the story is sprinkled subtly throughout, tucked away in books and item descriptions, painstakingly written by the developers. And despite all that depth, you couldn't be bothered to read any of it. As a game designer, I've been thinking a lot about story in my own games. Granted, I design board games, so generally my story ends up being a 2-sentence blurb at the top of the rulebook or a handful of lines on a card. But it makes you ask, who's actually reading this? Who's it actually for? And I'm not so dumb to think that nobody reads it or it's never enjoyable, but it does bring up the question, do games need story? If I left it all out, if I ignored the flavor text on a card, would anyone even care? Now I bet you're thinking the answer to that question is it depends. It depends if the story is good, it depends on what kind of game it's in. Maybe it even depends on your mood that day. And honestly, you'd be right. As skippable as some stories are, some capture our hearts. They evoke emotion, they make us laugh, smile, and even cry. The characters, the bits of lore, the trials and adventures, we carry those with us. They're a gift, a treasure we keep forever. These stories can matter to us so much. So why is it sometimes they just get in the way? Today I want to dive into this topic and try to understand, do games really need a story? Do they need characters and lore? Do they even need a theme? So join me today as we explore the question, do games need story? First and foremost, let's talk about what story is. I know it's a bit cliche to start by reading off the definition of a story, but as I began my research on this topic, I quickly realized it's kind of hard to actually define. Most definitions will tell you something like an account of imaginary or real people told for entertainment, or simply an account of incidents or events. But if you look at this from a writer's perspective, you'll get a better idea of what a story is made of. Most important of which is that a story needs a beginning, a middle, and an end. And while that might not be a textbook definition, it's a structure that dates back to Aristotle in 300 BC and is still used today. So I would say it's as important as any definition. Here's the thing, that definition doesn't quite sit right with me when it comes to games. Because unlike a movie or a book that unfolds linearly, even if the story jumps around, a game can be told whichever way it wants. A game's entire story can be told through item descriptions or even the environment itself. And while it might not be told to you, it's still there. Let's take Minecraft, for example. On the surface, there is no story. It's completely non-linear, and you can go wherever you want. There's no dialogue, no lore-filled text. We're barely even really given a theme. I mean, what is it, like fantasy, post-apocalyptic, steampunk? Yeah, I don't know. But I think it would be unfair to say that Minecraft doesn't have a story. It's just told visually, not with words. The details are never stated outright. They're shown to us and left to our interpretation. You never learn who the zombies once were, you never know who built the strongholds, you never know who left a portal half buried in the sand. Minecraft's story isn't spoken, it's left behind for you to uncover. But does that story have a beginning, a middle, and an end? Arguably no. Instead, it's made up of what are called narrative fragments. These are building blocks that comprise a story. Bits of lore or visuals that aren't a story on their own that suggest a greater narrative. His influence is dark, but I do not blame you for your curiosity, but cleanse yourself of it immediately. It it will ruin you and all you care about.
That's just one tidbit from a singular item from Risk Rain 2. Alone, it hardly means much, but we do understand that there's something out there seeking to corrupt us, something evil. There's more to the story. But without reading through hundreds of item descriptions, you'll never get the full picture. But if players only encounter small fragments of the story, or maybe miss it entirely, why include it at all? The simplest reason is that there are some players who care, and some that don't. However, something like text in item descriptions is a great way to get around the skippable dialogue problem we were talking about earlier, because you can tell the story you want to tell without it getting in the way of the gameplay. Of course, there are more complex answers as well. Story can help shape the game's creation and even set the right tone and atmosphere. Lords of the Fallen's checkpoints could have just been called checkpoints, but instead they're called vestiges, a sacred site where a previous lamp bearer had fallen. Of course, this is likely retrofitted lore to a pre-existing mechanic of an established genre convention, but it can also work the other way around. For instance, in my game, Armies Against Entropy, during the initial conceptualization, heroes were named after heroes in fiction and generic fantasy archetypes. These characters were then given mechanics that fit the narrative, an elf being able to attack twice, and a necromancer gaining power when things died. These two concepts are called top-down and bottom-up game design. Top-down starts with a theme and applies the mechanics, whereas bottom-up starts with the mechanics and then applies a theme after. And while a theme might not be a story on its own, it helps to build up narrative fragments, creating a story in our mind. And these choices, whether intentional or not, define the game's story as a whole. Of course, I'd be remiss to not talk about the quality of a story mattering in a game. Yeah, if it sucks, we're going to skip it. A story has to be engaging for it to be something we want to devote time to. So what are some of those factors? First and foremost is emotional connection. If you can't connect with the characters and the story, then you're not going to care about it. It could be bad writing or bad acting or just bad characterization, but if a game fails to make you feel something, then it's failed as a story. Along the same lines is motivation. A good game will give you a reason, a purpose for your character to do what they're doing. In film, there's actually a term for this. It's called a MacGuffin. It's an object or goal that drives the plot forward, even if it's not that important on its own. Usually it's something that the characters care deeply about, but the audience doesn't really have to. I always use the example of the plans for the Death Star in Star Wars. We might not really care about what they are, but the characters certainly do. But in games, a truly great story goes one step further. It makes us care about the MacGuffin. Because unlike in film where we just watch the character, in a game we're both the audience and the character. Which brings us to motivation. If a player doesn't care about the character, they'll struggle to put themselves in their shoes. But if they do care, they'll stay invested, sometimes even pushing through lackluster gameplay to see what happens next. That's the power of story. It can carry the experience even when everything else is falling short. Games like The Witcher or Baldur's Gate are designed with story as the main selling point of the game. And whether you enjoy the gameplay or not, the story is fun to uncover. If a story is good, it also generally means it has more replayability, especially if that game has branching pathways or multiple endings. Of course, there is the complete other side of things as well. Not everyone actually cares about story in games. You might just be someone who doesn't want that in their gaming experience. A game like Factorio doesn't have much of a story beyond, these bugs don't like your factory. Deal with it. Because truthfully, it doesn't have to. No one really cares about the story when you're trying to build something that looks like this. That's why story can often lead to breaking up the gameplay experience. If you're just getting into the gameplay and having fun with the mechanics, it can be frustrating to be met with a bunch of dialogue or a cutscene. I find this true for myself personally when playing multiplayer games. I want to just be enjoying my friend's company and not reading through 30 text boxes of dialogue. So let's get back to our original question. Should games have story? Well, no. And that's probably pretty obvious because not all games can or do have it. Some of the world's most beloved games don't. You're not a card wizard fighting the evil Joker Lord in Balatro. No, you're just you playing with a deck of cards and a crazy bunch of jokers. But there's one crucial part we haven't honed in on yet. The most important part of storytelling. You, the listener, the observer. Because no story truly exists
unless there's someone there to hear it. Because it's you who decides what a game's story is, whether it's piecing together the narrative fragments and uncovering the hidden tale, or whether it's skipping all the dialogue and beating the game in an hour just so you can brag about it to your friends. Because in a game, you write the story. Because without you, it's just fragments of one, until you've uncovered its secrets or you've made it to the end. Sometimes stories get in the way because we're making our own stories when we play. I play Remnant 2 with my brother, not to discover where the root came from or why it's destroying the earth. I play because I want to spend time with him and make our own stories. I don't play Risk Grind 2 with my friends because I want to read through the logbook and understand all the secrets of why the world is the way it is. No, I play it because I want to spend time with my friends and hear about their day. At the same time, I play Hades because I care about Zagreus' story, about how his family relationships evolved and how he keeps pushing forward even after death. I play Inscription not just because of its fun mechanics, but because of the mystery behind it all, behind the cards, behind the cabin, behind the game even itself. So the truth is, games have story whether you like it or not, because as people, we make our own stories. Because at the end of the day, Zagreus' ascension out of Tartarus, vanquishing the root from the earth, and defeating Mithrix on the moon are just as much of a story as the ones you tell each other after the game is over. The story of you diving through the enemy team to save your friend, the story of you playing all your cards at the end in an epic duel, the story of you clutching to revive your brother just in time to defeat the final boss. Story is inevitable whether it's written into a game or not, because a game isn't truly a story until you've played it. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you're interested in game design discussions like this, check out my Discord, where we talk game design and like chickens and axolotls and stuff. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, my games are also on there, which are free to play, so please check those out as well. Lastly, if you like this video, please subscribe. It would mean both the world to me and Luna here. You know, it basically means we can keep making these sort of videos, so. Anyway, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.
The end. Also, sup, Anonymous? How goes it? Zero critiques. Peak cinema. Absolute cinema. Nice. Yeah. Sorry you missed the little beginning half of it, but it'll be out tomorrow. You can see the whole thing. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I like how it's like a little more like emotional than, no man, that was awesome. Very well written. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's like, I don't know if it's like necessarily like the best editing I've done. Like some of the other ones I've done like a lot. I've done a lot more like animating and stuff, and I like that. And I had a lot more of my face in this one, which was partly just to cut down on the amount of footage I needed to do, right? That's not necessarily a bad thing. I was very pleased with the editing. Yeah, I mean, like, it's not bad. I just think I've like have ones that are like go harder, but I don't think people really care about that much, really. I mean, people connect with people, so it's not negative. Yeah, that's kind of what my thought was. I was like, it cuts down the amount of time I need to do to actually do it, and you know, I don't have to like make double the number of shots. I think seeing your face helps with the emotional side of the video too. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm really happy with the sort of more emotional vibe of it, right? It's more has more feeling to it. Face plus piano is making me feel good. That was kind of the intention. So I'm glad it works. Yeah, it was interesting because like I didn't necessarily like writing that script was interesting because I didn't exactly have a conclusion when I went into it. But I found it when I was just like drafting stuff out, and it kind of I don't know. It's like it's a little like I don't know, I don't want to say like like just like it's not like I think some people could potentially see it as a cop out, you know, like, but I guess the whole question is kind of like rhetorical anyway, right? Because like it's not really like what is a story, right? Like that. Oh hell no, man. I'm just saying, like, that's not my perspective, but I feel like that could be someone's perspective, right? But I don't know. In the end, I was very happy with how it turned out. I kind of, I think making it more like, I think it's way more an open discussion than you telling me a thing. Yeah, okay, good. I think that's not how I wanted to come across, right? Like I didn't want it to be like, this is the truth about stories, you know? The dark truth that doctors don't want you to know about. So yeah. Yeah, I liked that about it. Yeah, for sure. Well, good. I'm glad everyone's seeming to like it. Yeah, I think it's some of my better writing for sure. If not the best so far. 9 out of 10 doctors recommend Beats Creations. Yes, indeed. Yeah, did you... Oh, I was like, did you highlight that message? But no, it was just a mention, so it looked different on my screen. But yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I feel pretty good about it. I'm hoping it blows up, but we'll see. I don't know if like, do games need story? I don't know if that's gonna be like a like how that's gonna be received as like a title / thumbnail and all that. So we shall see. Man, I'm like, what is that shadow just like on my porch? But it's a plant. But yeah, I think I might be done here because I really don't feel like starting anything at this point. And I think my brain's a little cooked from cooking that video. And I need dinner. So I think we might find someone to raid. I probably should have just been doing this the whole time because I haven't been doing anything. Yeah, to take the dogs out for a walk, so maybe for the best. Yeah, honestly, I think it's just time. And you know, most people are, you know, like I said, 4th of July or it's very late, so we could raid this lady. I randomly jumped in her chat the other day because she was making resin dice or like resin something, you know. I used to be a material man back in my previous life. So we could do that. I don't know if she's making anything right now, but see you, dude. See you, Anonymous. Thank you for stopping by. Sorry I'm leaving as you're coming in, but yeah, I think it's time to go eat food. So yeah, I guess I don't know what she's doing right now. I don't think she's actually making anything, but why don't we just go say hello? Because why not? All right, we're just gonna do this because then I don't have to think about anything. Oh, unavailable to raid. Well, never mind. I tried. Dude, every time I'm like, yeah, you know what? Let's just do this. Let's not like freaking faff about. It never works. Like, oh yeah, this person, let's do it. And then it's just like, nope. You have to make the raid prep thing you were talking about. Yeah, I don't know what that is. What should that be? Let's talk about that while I find someone. Because I would like to have some sort of something going on while I'm trying to find someone to raid. And so it's not like super, like, I don't know, boring while I'm trying to find someone. And I'm just yammering on. Although, like, to be fair, like, we just yap anyway. But for some reason, when we get to leaving, I think my brain just starts melting. And then, you know, here we are. Yeah, I don't know why you can't raid some people sometimes. That's not in English. I mean, I think part of that would be cool is, like, I was talking about making like a game, like a stream game, and then maybe like finding or raiding someone could be part of that game, you know? That is like an idea for a next project. Do we want to raid someone doing card opening, or do we want to raid someone doing art? I was like, I'm looking at TCGs, but there's no one making their own. I don't know if any of you care about card opening. And I don't necessarily, to be honest, but I feel like it's a decent, like, group to talk to. I'm probably just gonna raid an artist, though. Classic. Can't find anyone. Not can't find anyone, but just unsure who to raid. Guys? Alright, let's do smaller size, similar category. No, it's no mic. This seems fantasy-esque. We're gonna go for it. That's all I know. YOLO, right? Alright, let's do this person. Some sort of, like, fantasy-looking character. Anyway. Alright, y'all. I will see you all on Monday. Goodbye. We will raid this person drawing like a I have no idea. Some sort of something. I just picked someone at random, if I'm being completely honest with you. So away we go. I will see you all. Sorry, hold on. Is this not gonna work? Or is my thing just glitching out? No idea. All right, YOLO. All right, bye. See ya. New video out tomorrow. Make sure to watch it. Leave a comment, etc. Thank you. Goodbye. Probably around noon. Goodbye.